You're the favorite ex-wife, Meri. That's easy as can be. That's actually great.
Are you saying anything? I'm not saying anything. Both of you are laughing your heads off.
When Robyn decided to crash Meri's moving day, it was as if the human embodiment of a mood killer had arrived. Coup Debbie Downer, here to suck the air out of the room, classic Robyn. Sad little Robyn, wandering around with her signature dry tears, performing grief like it's an Olympic sport. Honestly, it was peak awkward. No one invited her to help, and let's be real, no one wanted her there. The setup worked better without her. Nathan playing the neutral middleman gave Kody and Meri the clean break they needed. It was closure, plain and simple. And we all know what came next. Meri moves on, Amos enters the scene, and the final page is turned. Sure, Robyn's waterworks might have stirred up a flicker of confusion, but come on, everyone knew it was over. Hope had packed up long before the boxes did. The family? Shattered. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. It's deeply concerning that truly seems to have only one parent actively considering the potential risks involved in her life right now. Kody, unfortunately, appears disengaged at a time when attentiveness is most needed. His young daughter is about to live in a home with a man her mother, who is clearly yearning for love and companionship, has only known for 6 weeks. Despite this, Kody hasn't made any effort to meet this person or have a meaningful conversation with him to understand who will now have daily access to his child. This situation, sadly, is all too familiar. A parent, often motivated by emotional need or the promise of security, brings someone new into the home without thoroughly considering the implications for their children. While I'm not suggesting that anything harmful is happening here, the fact remains that no one can be sure, least of all Kody, who hasn't even tried to learn more. At Gwen's party, he had the opportunity to simply speak with the man, to establish even a basic understanding, but chose not to. The potential risk is high, and yet those responsible don't seem to fully appreciate that reality. Even Mykelti is comfortable handing over access to her toddler daughter and twin sons with little hesitation. There seems to be a worrying lack of due diligence, especially considering how often everyone talks about safety. When actual safety concerns arise, particularly involving children, those conversations should be urgent and thorough. What's also troubling is Kody's admission that he doesn't know whether Christine is dating and doesn't care to find out. This isn't just about moving on emotionally. It's about staying involved in decisions that affect his child's daily life. His apparent indifference suggests that his pride may be taking priority over his parental responsibilities. To be clear, this isn't a personal judgment of David. From what we've seen, he appears to be a kind person. But when minor children are involved, caution should always come first. Even with the best intentions, it's important to take time, establish boundaries, and prioritize the emotional and physical safety of the children involved. Ideally, Kody and Christine should be having open, respectful conversations, not just with the new partner, but with each other, about how to ensure Truly's well-being. So far, that dialogue seems to be missing. This isn't about suspicion or alarmism, it's about thoughtful parenting. True safety means asking the difficult questions, making the uncomfortable decisions, and putting children's needs ahead of adult emotions. That should be the standard, always. Okay, I'll be the first to admit, I don't keep up with every live stream or side hustle the sister-wife screw is into these days. But I have watched the series, and yes, I know Meri isn't exactly winning any miscongeniality awards. There are serious allegations out there about her being abusive to the kids, and while I'm not here to dismiss that, I also don't think it's that cut and dried. Meri has a sharp tongue. She says what she thinks, and yeah, that can come off abrasive. Maybe she's not the warmest person, but let's be honest, she never got the grace Christine or Janelle seem to bask in. People forget, Meri was the first wife. She was already there when Janelle came on the scene, awkwardly, as her ex-sister-in-law and the one to have the first baby. Then Christine jumped into the already bubbling chaos. It's no wonder those early dynamics set the tone for decades of drama. And let's talk about Janelle for a second. She didn't exactly raise her kids, she worked. A lot, arguably to escape the house. Christine did the heavy lifting there, parenting-wise. But nobody's holding that against Janelle. Meanwhile, Meri gets crucified for being a little mean. Sure, she may have been on a bit of a power trip at times, but come on, are the rest of them saints? I've seen Christine and Janelle both be rude to Meri, just like Meri's been rude to them. None of them liked each other for what? 4 decades? This was never a sisterhood of the traveling bonnets. And yes, Kody is a mess, we all know it, but even he said Christine was often the instigator in conflicts. He didn't say that about Meri or Janelle when they left, and that has to count for something, right? What I don't get is why Meri is the one who gets iced out of everything now. She was part of that family for years, and yet, nothing. Not even an acknowledgement of what she went through. That said, to be fair, Meri herself has admitted to pulling away from the family. She said she didn't share because she didn't feel safe, emotionally. Whether it was intentional or not, she isolated herself, maybe as a way to protect herself, maybe not. Let's also not ignore the elephant in the room. Some of Christine and Janelle's kids have strong feelings about Meri. If my kids said they were uncomfortable around someone, I wouldn't be inviting that person to every family BBQ either. So yeah, Meri might have put herself on the sidelines, but she also wasn't exactly welcomed back with open arms. And sure, when Christine left, Meri claimed she didn't want to take sides. But let's be real, she did. It felt like a last-ditch attempt to win favor with Kody and Robyn, which, surprise, didn't exactly earn her brownie points with the rest of the family. At the end of the day, I think it's complicated. No one's completely innocent, and no one's totally to blame. Sometimes you love someone and still know it's healthier to love them from a distance. In Everyone Was Mean to My Kids, Season 2, Episode 4, the family is shown enjoying a sunny day at the park with all the kids playing together, picture-perfect harmony. Then suddenly, we're whisked to the adults sitting on the couch. Kody, ever the narrator of his own fantasy, proudly declares that Robyn's kids have integrated very well into the family and that they love visiting the big house. Robyn chimes in too, smiling as she insists that her kids bonded seamlessly with the rest of the family. Fast forward to the present day, and apparently everyone has been mean to Robyn and her children this whole time. They were never accepted. So, which is it? Were they warmly embraced or cruelly rejected? Because you can't have both. And if you go back to the early days, right after that explosive 4th of July fight in Big Bear, you'll hear something telling from the older kids. Maddie points out that Robyn's kids were raised completely differently than the original 13. More importantly, she says there were expectations placed only on the OG kids to adapt, while Robyn's kids got a free pass. It wasn't let's meet halfway. It was Robyn's parenting is the gold standard, and everyone else needs to catch up. Her kids were held up as flawless, while the others were expected to shift their entire dynamic. So let's get real. Robyn has always kept her children at arm's length from the rest of the family, and now she's shocked that there isn't a deep, loving bond there. It's a classic no-win situation. No matter what the family does, it's never enough. But sure, let's keep pretending it was all just unprovoked meanness. When Christine rewatched the coveted episode of Aka Season 10, Episode 11 here in New Zealand, things hit differently. This time, the signs were glaring. That's the episode where she casually drops the bomb that she wants to leave Flagstaff for Utah. She and Meri do their ceremonial look at the mountain moment. But spoiler, Christine isn't gone yet. Not physically anyway. Then comes the kicker. In the very next episode, Kody displaying his usual flair for terrible ideas. suggests Isabel should fly across the country alone for major spinal surgery. That's when you see Christine start mentally packing. It becomes painfully obvious she's done when they all head out to the Coyote Pass property to decide who gets what lot. Christine? Checked out. Gone. Over it. The rewatch makes it crystal clear. Binge viewing reveals the unraveling way better than the slow, week-by-week rollout ever did. By episode 13, she's effectively out. Not shouting it from the rooftops yet, but her silence says it all. Later, she explains that during the month she spent in New Jersey, staying at one of her sister's homes while Isabel recovered, she had a light bulb moment. She could do it without Kody. As heartbreaking as it was for Isabel to go through that without her dad, who, by the way, didn't even think the surgery was necessary because it would cost him money, Christine managed. She got through it. And more than that, she realized she didn't need him. Now, here's the theory. Christine had been checking out long before Flagstaff, probably back in Vegas. Robyn had been Kody's favorite from the jump, and it's no coincidence that Kody and Robyn were gung-ho about Flagstaff before anyone else. Dayton's college decision, that came after. Let's be real, when has Robyn, the control freak, ever let a kid make a major family decision like that? By the time they moved, Christine and Janelle each still had 3 kids at home. Janelle found a rental. Christine didn't, but she ended up buying a really nice house. Not a palace, but definitely solid. A mile away from Robyn's McMansion and Coyote Pass. And yes, she bought it before her Vegas house sold, because she already knew the dream of Coyote Pass CPE was never going to happen. Her new house didn't even have the number of bedrooms she was supposed to need. The upstairs family room? She just turned it into a master bedroom. Adapt and survive. If Janelle could find a rental for herself and 3 kids, Christine could have too. But she made a strategic move. That house ended up being a great investment. Smart. What Christine really did in Flagstaff was challenge Kody over and over, trying to get some shred of fairness for her and her kids. Her proposal for the whole family to move to Utah. That was her final attempt to stay in this plural marriage mess, but actually have a voice. It was never going to work, of course. Meri and Janelle were financially committed to CP, and Robyn, firmly rooted in her mansion, wasn't about to budge. That ship had sailed, and Christine, she was already swimming away. When it comes to Kody's tears over Meri, a lot of people are convinced it's all about the money, that he's trying to reel her back in because every extra wife equals extra income. And honestly, that's not an entirely wild theory. But I've got 2 other possibilities that might explain the waterworks. First, maybe he's using these emotions as some kind of PR redemption arc. The guy knows he's public enemy number 1, America's least favorite polygamist, and maybe he's grasping at any scrap of sympathy he can find. Cue the dramatic sighs and perfectly timed camera glances. It's damage control, Kody style. Second theory, and this one's a bit more interesting. Since Meri left, they've actually spent time together, without Robyn, without the kids. Just Kody and Meri. Like back in the day. And guess what? Meri seems happier, freer, like she's rediscovered the fun, flirty version of herself that existed before the whole family dynamic turned into a tragic reality TV soap opera. Kody's seeing that, and maybe, just maybe, it's stirring something in him. Nostalgia, perhaps. Not for Meri per se, but for the guy he used to be, the charismatic, fun dad version of Kody, before he morphed into the snowblower-wielding tyrant of Flagstaff. Now, Kody isn't exactly known for emotional depth, so instead of realizing he misses himself, he's probably projecting all that onto Meri, mourning her when he's actually mourning his lost mojo. Just a thought. Of course, it's also worth noting how staged some of this felt. There was definitely a little camera check before the tears. God makes sure your pain is hitting the right angle, right? And while he did seem genuinely affected, This was also the first time he wasn't sulking in his mansion, rage-brooding from a safe distance like he did with the other divorces. Maybe production gave him the nudge, like with that oh-so-symbolic snowblower scene with Christine, and suddenly he had to actually feel something on screen. And ironically, Meri's exit is the real nail in the coffin. It's the official end of the whole polygamy charade. The wives didn't stick around and wait on the shelf like good little collectibles, the way Meri did for years. And Kody? He genuinely can't understand why. But sure, at the end of the day, he's probably still in it for the money. The guy's only consistent job has been playing a tone-deaf jerk on reality TV. He's got a brand to maintain and bills to pay. Robyns' shy diesel jeans and luxury home aren't going to fund themselves. So yeah, cue the tears, cue the confusion, cue the "why don't they love me anymore" monologue. It's all part of the Kody Brown extended universe. Ego, denial, and just enough drama to stay on TLC's payroll. Kody doesn't love Robyn. Go ahead, try to convince me otherwise. From day one, she's been his human shield. Can't show affection to the other wives? Oh, Robyn wouldn't approve. Can't spend more than a few hours with the others? Sorry, Robyn needs help getting the kids dressed. Still stringing Meri along after all these years. Well, Robyn suggested he wait on divine intervention to feel something, anything, for a woman he admits he never loved in the first place. Kody has spent their entire marriage hiding behind Robyn, using her as his catch-all excuse for being emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, and just plain negligent. He knows the resentment this breeds, not just among the wives, but the kids too, and yet he keeps doing it. Why? Because love has nothing to do with it. He doesn't love Robyn, he uses her. Just like he used Janelle and Christine to create distance from Meri when things got uncomfortable. Sure, Robyn's playing the game too. She's not exactly innocent here, but let's not kid ourselves. If Kody truly loved her the way he claims, he wouldn't constantly toss her under the bus to cover his own flaws. Love doesn't look like that. This is manipulation, plain and simple. And honestly, I don't think Kody's capable of real love. Not the kind that sticks through conflict, takes accountability, or fights for relationships. Look at his track record. He's walked away from so many of his kids. Parents make mistakes, sure, but the good ones would crawl over broken glass to repair things. Kody? He ghosts them. This is narcissism 101. And Robyn? She enables it, front and center. It's actually wild that this man got 4 women to marry him and ended up with 18 kids, or however many were pretending he actively parents. The mind reels. Let's also be real about why he latched onto Robyn in the first place. She represented something shiny and new. She was his trophy wife, his idea of pretty and presentable. And now, to preserve that image, he bends over backwards to meet her every want and need, even if it means cutting off everyone else in the process. He'll alienate his entire family and drive himself into bankruptcy if it means keeping up the fantasy. Kody was never cut out to be a husband. But more than that, he was never cut out to be a father. He's too selfish for either role. Period. Robyn and her kids mock Kody. And it's all on camera. I've caught it on film more than once now. It's subtle, quick, but it's there. Right in front of him, Robyn and the kids shoot each other those knowing glances and smirks the second Kody starts acting like, well, Kody. Brianna, especially, is in on it. You really have to wonder what they say about him when the cameras aren't rolling. And yet somehow, they're not the disloyal ones. The original wives never pulled that kind of behind-the-back mockery. They just said what they thought, directly to his face. Honestly, I think Robyn started out genuinely into him, but now, he grates on her nerves. She tolerates him, sure, probably because she doesn't have to work. But let's be real, he annoys the hell out of her most of the time. So yeah, the OGs might have called him out, but at least they didn't fake smile while secretly rolling their eyes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.